Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Line Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'm about to play a 200-point commander mission between my Genestealer Cult and Neil's Thousand Sons on Rust Falls. That's the name of these towers, which were handmade by my opponent. Super fun, super cool, very excited to be playing on this terrain. Hopefully having lots of guys falling all over the place, making it for a very good time. So the story that we've got going on here is that the Thousand Sons discovered some areas of interest for them to further delve into the dark reaches of the warp from this area here, and they decided to go investigate. But when they realized when they got here is that this hive was infested by Genestealer Cult. So they decided that they needed to kill the Genestealer Cult and find out what was going on that was attracting them into the warp. And the Genestealer Cult decided that they were going to kill the intruders to prepare this for the arrival of the four-armed emperor. So that is the story that we've got going on. Before we go any further, the mission that we're going to be playing is just going to be 4 objectives. 1, 2 on each of the other. So he set up on each of these towers across from each other. So he set up on this tower, I set up on this tower, and there are 4 objectives. 2 on each of the places, on each of the towers that are that we didn't start on, so that we have to do some moving to get onto the objectives and hopefully clash and make for some fun gaming experiences. So that is what the mission that we're going to be doing. That is the story that we got going on. So before we go any further, let's show you the 2 armies that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Genestealer Cult, my kill team will consist of, from left to right here, we have my commander, which is a patriarch. We then have a leader, a neophyte leader. We have a zealot specialist who is an aberrant with a power pick. We have got a combat specialist, which is an acolyte fighter with a heavy rock cutter. We then have a heavy specialist, which is a neophyte gunner with a seismic cannon. We then have a Genestealer pure strain and another acolyte fighter with a heavy rock cutter. And then for the Thousand Sons, from left to right here, we have a commander who is a Zangor shaman on a disc. We then have the leader who is a Scarab Occult sorcerer. We've got a demolitions expert with a Scarab Occult terminator with a Soul Reaper cannon. We then have a veteran specialist who is another Scarab Occult terminator. We've got a Twist Braid combat specialist. We then have a Rubric Marine with the icon of flame and a Zangor. All right, so those are the armies going over deployment. I've got my patriarch up here. I've got my aberrant, who is my zealot specialist, along with my fighter, who is not a specialist, up on the top. I've got my fighter, who is a combat specialist, over here, along with my pure strain. I've got my heavy specialist down over here, and I've got my leader back over here, hiding and leading the way from behind, like all true Genestealer Cult leaders probably would. My opponent's deployment is going to have his commander back over here. He's got his Rubric Marine up top here, along with his leader, and he's got his Twist Braid back over there. Where is your other Zangor? Somewhere. No, I got that guy. Where's? Oh, they're both there. Oh, sorry, they're both over there. I just didn't see that they were. So yeah, so they're both back over that way. Sounds good. And then he's going to have his demolitions and his veteran specialists are going to be held in reserves. So that is going to be deployment. We will now roll to see who will have initiative going into turn 1. Oh no, I'm knocking things over. We'll have to pick that up in a second. But I will have the initiative, and hopefully he held on there so he doesn't have to take a fall test. Woof. Cold ambush, this guy got to move, but no one else did because they don't get cold ambush. And these guys failed their rolls, and he's just going to stick back over there.
Hivequake.
Movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. This guy moved up over to here onto the objective. He advanced. He moved up onto the objective over here. He stood still. These guys all advanced across the board over that way. looking to maybe cause some mayhem. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to the movement phase for the Thousand Suns. All right, movement phase for the Thousand Suns. Both of his Zangors over here advanced up across the bridge over this way. His commander flew over this way because he's got the fly. This guy moved up over this way, and his Rubric Marine advanced up there to get onto the objective. And then at the end of the movement phase, my opponent spent 1 CP to drop these guys more than 1 inch away. You can choose up to 3 Terminators and drop them more than 5 inches away from enemy models, so that's where they are going to end up. So pretty good there. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so we start off. He is going to cast Cybolt into his leader over there because I've got the initiative there. He's the closest within line of sight because his Rubric Marine's closer, but he's behind there. I cannot see him, so it's going to go into his leader there. Looking for a 5. Goes off with a 9. Do you want to try to deny it? Yes, I would definitely suggest doing so. No, does not deny it, so he takes a mortal wound. Now let's see if he tests to take a fall test too, because he took damage for any other reason there. So let's see what happens. On a 6, he is good to go. All right, so his shaman on a disc over here is going to see my dude bro over here. So he is going to try to, he's going to cast Cybolt onto him over here. Looking for a 5. Goes off with a 5. 1 second. Absolutely. All right, so I'm actually going to try to deny that over here with my guy because you don't need line of sight to deny. But don't do it with a 4. Oof. I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll my Deny the Witch disc because I think that's one of the ones that I can do. So we're going to roll it and see if we can. All right, so it does go off. We'll make sure we can. And now my dude bro here is going to, or his dude bro, because he's got Brotherhood of Sorcerers, he has to choose 2. He is going to Cybolt into my Patriarch over there, looking for a 5. It goes off with an 11, which is D3. So D3 mortal wounds. Is 2 mortal wounds. So he took 2 mortal wounds and now has to take a fall test. On a 6, he's good. Woo! All right, so my heavy specialist is going to start us off in the shooting phase now, firing into his leader. So he's going to have 4 shots, hitting on 6s because he's more than half range and obscured. Getting no hits. Obscured. So now his leader is going to fire into my commander over here. He's going to have 4 shots. He is obscured, so hitting on 4s. So that's going to be 1 hit, strength 4, so looking for a 5 to wound. No wound. But he did hit, so a fall check needs to be made, and he's good. And now this guy is going to fire into my combat specialist. 4 shots, obscured, hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits, strength 4, toughness 3, so 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds. -2. -2 is just going to go straight through his armor, so it's 1 injury test. On a 6, he's out of action. And now his guy with the Soul Reaper cannon is going to fire into my Pure Strain over here. So he's going to have 4 shots. These are going to be hitting on, he did move, but he gets to ignore it because of all his dust. So he is going to be having 4 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s because he's within half range and not obscured. And my opponent's going to spend 1 CP on custom ammo since he is his demolitions expert over there. And he is going to have 4 shots hitting on 3s because he ignores the heavy, is within half range, and is not obscured. That's going to be 3 hits. These are going to be strength, what is it? Strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound. 2s to wound because it would have been +1 to wound because of his custom ammo. Yeah, so that's going to be -3, so we got 3 5-up invul saves. Make none of them. So that's going to be, what's the damage on it? 1 damage? It's just 1 damage, so is he out of action? On a 3, he takes a flesh wound. Fall check. But he does have to take a fall check. And he's good. All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn. We're now going to roll for initiative going into turn 2. I rolled an 8. My opponent rolled an 8 as well, so we're rolling. I rolled an 8. My opponent rolled a 5, so we'll come back to you after a movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, so I got 1 point because he killed me off of this objective here, and my opponent has 2 points having that one, and then his Zangor Shaman back over there. So that's going to be, that was at the end of the first round. So now going into the second round, we'll come back to you after movement phase. All right, movement phase. My dude bro over here readied himself. My leader moved down over this way to get some angles, and everyone else is going to charge. So we'll start with my my pure strain over here. He is going to charge into his Terminator over there. Overwatch. Getting 2 hits. Oh no, that's killer. Wounded on 3s. That's 2 wounds. 2 5-up invul saves. Making 1, failing 1. Injury test +1. Oh, it takes another flesh wound. My opponent's gonna re-roll that injury test. Into a 4, he's out of action.
Yes.
My Patriarch is going to charge into his Rubric Marine over here. Cannot see him. And he is way in. All right, so now my fighter up here is going to charge into both the Rubric Marine and into his leader over here. So his leader can fire Overwatch. So he's going to have 4 shots because he's within 12 inches. These are going to be hitting on 6s. No hits there. So I need 8 inches to get into the leader, 5 inches to get into the Rubric Marine. 7 inches will get him into the Rubric Marine. And now my Aberrant's going to charge into both of them as well. So here comes his Overwatch. 1 hit there. So it's going to be looking for a 4 to wound. No wound. I think you've already spent your reroll on this during this phase. When you rerolled the injury roll from my dude bro.
I did.
Yeah, this phase. So no wound there. So now his charge distance needs 9 inches to get into his leader over there. And with a 7 inches will get him into that guy. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll this. 7 inches will still get him into the other guy.
And that's the objective.
This guy is in trouble. Yeah. So movement phase for the Thousand Suns. He advanced up onto here. He had to stay over there. His Zangor Shaman is going to stay where he is, and this guy just moved down over this way. So that's it for the movement part of here. We're now going to go into charges. His Zangor back on the bridge is going to charge into my guy over here. Cannot see him. 6 inches? No, will not make it.
Okay.
And the guy closer is now going to charge with a 3-inch charge, and he makes that one. And now he's going to charge into both of these 2 guys over here. And he's in.
I've got.
All right, so into the psychic phase now. My guy's going to start by casting Psybolt. That is going to go off on an 8. Would you like to deny it?
Yes, I would.
Looking for a 9. Does get it off. Blake denies it on a 9. Well done.
So you ready for this?
And now he is going to Psybolt into.
Smite stick.
Oh yeah, for first he has the smite. He has his whatchamacallit, the Icon of Flame is going to go over here. So into my Patriarch.
Yep.
No, it does not go off. And now he is going to go into my Aberrant over there. Psybolt will go off on a 7. I'm going to try to deny it. Deny it on a 9. Ooh. And now his guy over here is going to Psybolt into my dude bro over this way, 21 inches away, because they get plus 3 inches to their Psybolt ability because of being sorcerer, whatever sorcerer. So looking for 5. Goes off on an 11. That's going to be D3 mortal wounds. Well, only 1 will take him down to 0 anyway. So that's going to be now an injury test. On 5, he's out of action. All right, so into the shooting phase. Now my leader is going to shoot into his combat specialist, since why not anymore? So now he's going to have 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's not obscured and within half range. That's 2 hits. Wounding on toughness 4, right? So 5s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. Double fill faces. There we go. AP nothing, so he's just got, what, a 5-up invul save. Makes 1, fails 1. So let's see if he is out of action. And on a 4, he is, because he's not obscured from this side. All right, so into the fight phase, we're going to go with my my fighter here. He's going to attack into his sorcerer, since his sorcerer charged into me over there. So he's going to have 2 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 4s, though, because it's -1 to hit with a heavy rock cutter. That's 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 2s. That is 1 wound. AP -4, so it goes to your 5-up invul save. No, that fails that. So he takes 2 damage, which we'll see if he is out of action. On a 6, he is. So now my Patriarch is going to attack into his dude bro over there. 7 attacks because he's the melee specialist, hitting on 2s. Okie dokie. So it's going to be 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling because of monstrous rending claws. That right there is going to be AP minus 6. These are AP -3. So what's his
Invul 5.
Invul 5. So we'll go with this one first. So Invul 5.
Nope.
No, so that's going to take him down, so immediately it stops. But that was 3 damage flat, so his injury rolls. On that 6, he's out of action. All right, so that's the end of the turn. No morale test to take here. My opponent has 3 guys out. I've got 3 guys out, but I've still got 4 guys left on the table. He has 4 guys left on the table. And at the end of the turn, my opponent scores this objective and the one that his Zangor on a shaman is on, and I score the one objective that those guys are on. So here we go. Rolling for initiative going into turn 3. It will be the Genestealer Cult advantage. All right, movement phase. We did both movement phases here. My leader readied. This guy over here moved down around this corner. He moved onto the objective. He readied. My patriarch advanced up over this way. He moved back around over there. He advanced down onto the platform there, and he just stayed where he was. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. So my patriarch's going to start us off by side bolting into this guy over here. Going to get it off on an 8. Trying to deny him.
9.
Not going to deny him, so he takes a mortal wound and then has to take a fall test. So here we go.
Ready for it?
Fall test. Ooh, he's good.
Okay.
All right, and he can't see anyone, so that's going to be the end of the psychic phase. So we're going to go into the shooting phase. I've got my guy readied over here who is going to fire into his Zangor. So it's 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's not obscured. That's going to be 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds. But he does have to take a fall check. Oh, he's good. And this guy over here is going to fire into my patriarch. So he's going to have his, he's more than 12 inches away, I believe, maybe? 1 second. All right, so this guy is within 12 inches of my patriarch, and he's going to fire into him. So he's going to have 4 shots, but he is obscured from there, so he's going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 3 hits, pretty good. Strength 4, wounding on 5s. No wounds, but I do have to take a fall test. Oh, do I? 1 second. That's like the only spot in the entire board that doesn't have to take a fall test, so I'll take it. And now this guy's going to fire into my patriarch as well, so he's going to have 4 shots. He's going to spend 1 CP for, what is it, like special ammunition?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's going to have, for the demolition specialist there, so he's going to have +1 to wound. These are going to be hitting on 5s, though, because he's more than half range and obscured, so it's going to be 1 hit. Wounding on it would, strength 5, right? Yep. Strength 5, toughness 5 would have been 4s, now it's down to 3s to wound. That is a wound. He's going to have -3, so he's going to have his 5-up invul save. That's good with a filth phase. Woo! And now his Zangor is going to fire into my leader. He's more than half range with his pistol there, so he's going to hit on a 5. That is a hit. Strength 3, so looking for a 4 to wound. That is a wound. Minus nothing. And that's not a save, though. Is he out of action? Oh, what? Yes. All right, so that's the end of the turn. My opponent scored 1, 2, 3 points. I scored 1. So that's leading us to 7 to 3. I do have to roll to break because I've got 4 guys out of action. So leadership 10, though, on my patriarch. So I am good to go on that. And your guys are good to go as well. So now we're going to roll for initiative going into turn 4. I will be getting it. Oh, no, tied. 10-10. I forgot. That's a 4 there. Rolling 12 and it's 8, so it's going to be initiative 2, the Thousand Suns.
Ready?
All right, Thousand Suns movement phase. Everybody is ready. So we will come back to you with the movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, movement phase. He is going to, I mean, he's ready himself, whatever. He's just going to stay up on that objective. And now we're going to have some charges. My patriarch is going to charge into his dude bro back over here. So he's going to fire Overwatch. Getting no hits, so I need an 11-inch charge to get in over here. And he's in with an 11-inch charge! Woo! And then my Abominant is going to charge into him down here. I need a 9-inch charge to get in. I get in with a 9! All right, so into the psychic phase. We are within 24 inches of each other, so we can deny each other. So we're going to start over here. He's going to side bolt into my my Abominant over there. My Aberrant, sorry. That will go off on an 11. I'm going to try to deny it. Can I see double fill faces? Show me double fill faces? No, I will not get double fill faces. So D3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds. All right, so he will be hurt there, so 1 injury roll. Because it's only 1, it's D3 mortal wounds, but they're 1 wound apiece. So now he has an injury test of 5 and he's out of action. Why? And then my patriarch is going to Cybolt into his dude, bro. And then
fine.
I'll see your 11 and raise you an 11. But you won't deny me either. So D3 mortal wounds, 2 mortal wounds, which is enough to take him down to 0. And on a 4, he's out of action. All right, so into the shooting phase. His dude bro here is going to fire into my patriarch. So he's going to have 4 shots. These are going to be
custom ammo.
Going to use custom ammo again. So these are going to be 4 shots. Hitting on 4s because he is obscured. Doesn't make a difference. He's got 2 hits there. These are going to be strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound because of custom ammo. Getting 2 wounds. Good thing you spent that CP. Well spent.
Minus nothing.
Minus 3. So it's going to be 5 up invul save, though. Making 1, failing 1. So that's going to be 1 damage. And I got to take a fall test. Oh, no. All right, so he fell from up there down to this platform sticking out over here. So that's going to be 12 inches there. So it's going to be 4 dice. Every 5 up is a mortal wound. Taking 2 mortal wounds, so still alive with 1 wound remaining. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. My opponent has lost 4 guys, and he has 1, 2, 3 left on the table, so he does have to roll for a break test over here. So who's your shaman? Is he the highest leadership, maybe? I think so, right? 7 or 8?
He's like 8.
Well, let's roll to see if it even makes a difference, because you could roll a double 1 and it won't make a difference. So let's just, okay. All right, so 8 is the number we were looking for here. Yeah, double 1, like I said, would not make a difference. They're good to go. And I've got 10 on mine. And I'm good as well. So that's the end of turn 4. I score 1 objective for that. My opponent scores 2 objectives for this one and then the one that his shaman's on, bringing him to 9 points, bringing me to 4 points. Let's roll to see if we go on to a turn 5. On a 3 we do. Initiative. An 11 to 6, so it's going to be Thousand Suns initiative. All right, movement phase for the Thousand Suns. His dude bro here is going to charge into my patriarch because he wants to hold him off there. So it's just going to be 2 dice. I have nothing to overwatch with. So here comes his charge distance, and he's in. All right, so that's actually it for the movement phase because my guy's going to stay in combat there, and this guy up here has to stay on the objective. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. So we'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so he is going to psych into my dude bro over here. Into my patriarch because he's the closest within line of sight. Looking for a 5. Gets it with a 9. I am going to try to deny that. But I don't. So that takes me down to 0. So here we go. That one wound, that's all I had left. And on a 5, he's out of action. And that is where we are. That's going to be the end of the game. That's the end of the turn. And that's going to be the end of the game because my opponent is going to score more points. I've got the 1 point there, so I think I had 5 points, and my opponent got another 2 points there, so he's up to 11. So he's got plenty of points. But this was a ton of fun. It was so swingy. That first early on, I thought I was in trouble when I started losing those guys really quick. Especially when I lost all the guys over here, I was like, oof, that's trouble. That's going to put me in a bad position to be able to try to do anything. But then I came back with that one turn when I killed 3 of his guys, real quick there, and then brought it back and tied up the number of models left there. But then the big turning point was over here with that 11 on that Cybolt to just blast my Aberrant off of the edge there, because that would have been trouble. I think my Aberrant would have been able to do a lot of damage to you in close combat, which would have been fun. But, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So, but a ton of fun on an incredibly awesome looking board here. So much fun being able to play on these awesome boards that my opponent Neil makes by hand and for his contest. And I am more than happy to reap the benefits of his labor. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Neil, and until next time, have fun.